Welcome to Real People, Real Voices. I'm your host, James Jackson.
And I'm your co-host, Pastor Wayne Moore.
We have an awesome guest on today.
Yes, I think it's going to be phenomenal to hear from her today.
Yeah, Anita Williams, the Indy Black Chamber.
Yeah, and well qualified. And I think what she's going to bring to us today is a new approach to what they think about community and helping inform the community about economic development along with some other issues.
And jobs certainly are very important.
In our state it is. And she's going to probably point us in the right direction on what we can look forward to in the future as it relates to the chamber.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that they will be able to help solve some of the economic problems in our community, and particularly in the black community. While national unemployment has trended down, unemployment among black folks seems to continue increasing, and particularly among teenagers.
18-24.
Yeah.
It's a rough area for economic development for young people. And so hopefully she can give us some solutions today as we ask questions that will probably lead her in a direction to where she can give us the correct information.
Yeah, and we want to thank you all for joining us each week right here on WHMB TV 40. Also, you can watch this show or others you might have missed by going to our YouTube channel, WHMB TV 40 on YouTube. Like us on Facebook. Tell your family, friends, relatives, associates, and neighbors we are on the air. Stay tuned. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to Real People, Real Voices. I'm your host, James Jackson.
And I'm your co-host, Pastor Wayne Moore.
We want to introduce you to Anita Williams of the Indy Black Chamber.
Thank you, gentlemen. My name, as you said, is Anita Williams. I'm the vice chair of the new Indy Black Chamber of Commerce. We started the chamber last year, 2015. We did our kickoff in October. It was a great kickoff. We had planned it for over a year and a half. We spent 3 years with the Anderson Black Chamber of Commerce. Anderson has a Chamber of Commerce that's been around about 10 years, and we were impressed by that. The reason we connected with Anderson was because of Ivy Tech. They were doing so much growth, as you know, throughout the state. But when we asked how many minority businesses were working with Ivy Tech as they grew nationwide, it was less than 1%, which caused all of us some concern. So we went to one of the meetings that Ivy Tech had sponsored, and they had brought in the Anderson Chamber of Commerce. We met the president. We were able to connect with them and sat on their board for 3 years to understand how boards were run, understand how the Chamber of Commerce, especially as it deals with black Americans, should be run and how it's established. So we got a lot of training from the Anderson Black Chamber of Commerce, still working with Ivy Tech, or at least talking to Ivy Tech, trying to enhance what they do with black businesses. Now Ivy Tech has changed hands, and we are going to hopefully be more beneficial to them and how they move forward, how they do business with black businesses. What we do know that right now, Ivy Tech does less than 4% statewide with minority businesses. I think that's shameful.
Anita, why is vendor contracts so difficult to be given to the Afro-American community?
Well,
that's the chamber's issue, I believe, isn't it?
Certainly.
Okay.
Economic development. There are a lot of layers to that.
Okay.
Because when you're a vendor, you have to look at the buyer, the purchaser. And so as people who are in those positions, they've been there for quite a while, and they understand what they've been buying, and they want to buy from the same person all the time. And we all have a tendency to buy from people we know and we like.
Familiar with.
Yes. So we're asking them to go outside their comfort zone, to look at black business. And the reason we do that is because black business can save you money. We're smaller. We can move faster. Sometimes when you use other corporate entities, it takes them a while to move on a PO because they have to go to the president. They have to send letters. They have a lot of layers to go through where we can move immediately. When you call us and you say you need a change, we can change it right then. So we've got to encourage people to look beyond the people that you've been using and start working with us. And the value of working with us. You think things are inferior when you're working with people beyond who you're used to working with, but we have to show them that we do quality work, or else we don't stay in business. So it is truly our goal to do quality work, and the chamber is there to make sure that the vendor that steps in is doing quality work. We understand what quality work should be. I have a business in security, my son and I. And so it's important that we send quality people everywhere we go. We are as competitive as any other security company.
That's it.
So you all have been doing this since 2015.
Yes.
I was a little surprised. Was there a black chamber before then?
Yes. There have been several, and the last one was defunct in about 2008. Bill Crawford had spearheaded that one, and he was doing a marvelous job. He passed it on to another person. But sometimes when we work with black business, especially black chamber, there's not the financing, no funding available to pay the people that sit on the boards. Right now, all of our work, all of our time is volunteer. And so the same thing was happening with that chamber at the time. So the new president that stepped in was not getting paid for her work. And so it's hard to continue to do something year after year, and especially something so challenging as trying to get minority businesses into corporate America.
Into the mainstream.
Yeah, and without a paycheck, it was difficult for her. So in 2008, it was defunct. We started to pull it back together. We know there's no money in it, not right now anyway, but we've been very active. This past year, we have 40 members. And we try to spotlight all of our members. 40, we can't do it, but each month we spend at least 30 minutes coming out to the business, meeting who the owners are, understanding what they do. And we invite all the other businesses to come out. And, you know, we want to grow, we want to start using the businesses that are part of the chamber. We've gone to the airport, and the airport has agreed to be a sponsor. They've given us money for sponsorship. Eskenazi has also given us money for sponsorship because everyone sees the need. So there is a need, and corporate understands the need, that if you leave out even one segment, that you're hurting yourself. So we are really working to be as active as we can possibly be in every component of the black community.
Sure.
Yeah, you talked about vendor contracts.
Right.
And when these contracts come out, there's a certain percentage of those businesses that are facilitating that project that are supposed to be minority contracts. And so is that something that you guys help to facilitate?
We want to help to facilitate. The state feels like they do a good job on their own.
No.
But the truth is they don't.
No. I mean, this is what real people and real voices is all about. That is not happening.
Exactly.
And the reason it's not happening is because we don't have at this particular time, a strong black chamber of commerce right now.
That's true.
And you revealed right here on this show why vendor contracts are issued in the state of Indiana and in Indianapolis, because we don't have a strong chamber that will push those buttons to make the other chambers respond accordingly as well. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, okay.
The first question is, why aren't we a part of the Indy Chamber of Commerce?
That's what
The Indy Chamber of Commerce has been around for a very long time, and the minority businesses are still failing. And yet majority businesses are doing well. So we didn't see a reason to partner with someone who's had the resources and the ability to grow minority business and hasn't made it a priority. It is our priority. So we are here to grow minority businesses. We want the minority business to understand contracting. Sometimes you don't understand a contract. The amount of time you have to put in, what the resources are, you have to understand the jargon with contracting. I spent 5 years with the Department of Economic Development in Iowa. So I understand federal contracting. I understand city and state contracting. So we can help them walk through the process so they can be just as competitive in understanding what's required of them at every phase of this game.
So you're telling me it's really ignored, the percentage of minority businesses in these contracts, et cetera, has been ignored.
It's been ignored. It's been reworded. When we talk about when we ask them why you haven't used minority businesses, they can talk about a good faith effort. We tried. We sent out a letter and no one responded.
Yeah, I remember when I was on the Board of Public Safety.
Right.
I was on the Board of Public Safety for 2 years. And as you indicated, a lot of the contracts go to the same vendors. And so one of the questions I raised is why don't we have more minority vendors who are getting these contracts? And so the answer would always come back, we couldn't find any.
Right.
So I would go find them. And then I would come back and make sure that everybody was getting their fair opportunity. So we're going to talk more about that. Dr. Moore, I think it's important that we continue the conversation in the next segment. We want you to stay with us. We've got more to talk about with Anita Williams. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to Real People, Real Voices. I'm your host, James Jackson.
And I'm your co-host, Pastor Wayne Moore.
And we're here with Anita Williams, the Indy Black Chamber.
Vice
President.
Vice Chair.
Vice Chair, right.
Vice
That's
Chair.
correct.
So before the break, we were just talking about how critically important what you all do is to the city of Indianapolis and making sure that vendors, vendor contracts for minorities, that takes place.
Yes, sir. Our first year being, we've only done this for a year, was to at least make our presence known. So we have gone around to the incoming governor, to the mayor, to the Indy Chamber, everyone that we could go to let them know that we're here and that we're here to grow businesses, and we're here to let them know that we're going to help businesses grow, and we're also going to help them understand how they can use minority businesses. We've not made a lot of noise yet, just wanted to introduce ourselves. So this year, as we've grown and we've gotten a lot of vendors and people who are able to do the work, now we're going to push a little harder. And we talked about job creation. You talked about that earlier. We partnered with the Indiana Construction Roundtable. They're a majority-owned construction group. And they visualize that within the next 10 to 15 years, there's going to be such a lack in people with skilled trades that they're going to have to look other places to hire.
Right.
Then we told them, you don't have to look other places. We partnered with the Martin Luther King Center, and we had a job fair at 37th Place, the old school 37. We had 100 people attend this, and we had all of these construction companies come out. 100 people in attendance, 50 people got jobs.
Apprenticeships.
For apprenticeships. Some apprenticeships and some just straight going to be hired. Any cost to that apprenticeship program will be covered. So we make sure these people are working. We're going to have another one in March, and it'll be on the west side. But we just need more people to come out because there are jobs available. So they could contact us on our website, www.ndbcc.org, because jobs are very important. We're here to fill a void as a chamber, and we have several committees within the chamber to fill that void. And some of the committees that we have are information resource. Sometimes as black businesses, we don't hold our own information. Other people hold it. So we're not sure how true it is. So information resource will be just counting numbers, seeing how many businesses are out there, seeing how the students are even doing in school. We have an education committee. We have a committee that is health and wellness based out of Eskenazi. And so we need to understand the health of black business owners.
So you're telling us, just listening to you, since the chamber has come back into place, it's been an out of sight, out of mind thing. So you're telling me that as long as you don't exist, nobody addresses those issues. If you don't exist, the issues don't get addressed. But now that you are existing, these issues are rising up again, and people are taking notice now.
They are.
That the chamber is trying to do something to help the community.
We've taken that on our shoulders. We understand how difficult and complicated it is. You tend to fall to the wayside if nobody is there to wave a sign to say, hey, we're here.
Is this by design, maybe? I'm not just asking a question. I mean, because the chambers, to hear you talk about it, it sounds to be so important.
It's very important.
Yeah.
And if we look at the strides that the Indy Chamber makes and the areas that the Indy Chamber works, they are part of the Indigo and their new process and the Red Line. Oh, the Indy Chamber is backing that.
Yeah.
When Farabee came into the education system, his main coach, the chamber was backing that. Yeah. Until we are at the table at each one of these, we get left behind because the chamber, the Indy Chamber, is not looking out for our welfare.
Well, you know, with so many big projects coming up.
Right, that's my point.
I think 16 Tech.
16 Tech.
16 Tech.
Are you all involved with that?
We've been talking to the young lady that's over 16 Tech, encouraging her.
Betty?
Yeah, she's out on maternity leave right now, so she has a replacement.
Very nice lady. Yeah.
Yes, she is. All of these people are very nice. But economically, we're still suffering with these nice people. So I'm not saying Betty's going to ignore us. She has been in talks with us. It's just important that we just keep pushing and knocking at the door. Vop Osili, I know, is going to be working with 16 Tech, and it encompasses.
Is that going to be advantageous for the community for Vop Osili to be working with that?
Vop has been.
I'm just asking the question. He's a councilman. He's on the Economic Development Committee. He's the chair of that, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
He supported the chamber, so we appreciate that.
Which chamber?
Our chamber,
Okay.
the Black Chamber.
Okay.
And we appreciate his support. Every time we've asked him for something, he's given us the information that we asked
That's good to know.
And I would hope that those 40 members that you have could have confidence going forward that they will be part of competing for those contracts.
Right.
Certainly. Right. And that's what we tell them when they come on board. And we also want to make sure they're ready. The evaluation process, you got to make sure a company's ready to go out there.
And mine is my passion is equity. I mean, let's just be fair about everything that we can be about, and let's do what we can to make it happen for all communities. That's
Certainly.
where I am with it.
Well, fair is.
Let's work with fair first. Okay.
we have to work. What they work with is legal. And that's what we've not been a part of.
Okay.
There's nothing, although the goals are in place and they're written down, these goals have no teeth.
So it's not illegal to miss the goal.
It's not illegal.
Yeah.
It's not a problem at all. Yeah. So until we step up and say there needs to be something in the law that says this is illegal to ignore us, until there's a penalty, and right now there's no penalty. If you don't use a black business, and I don't necessarily want to say minority, because minority also encompasses white women. And we're not out there to fight for white women. We're out here to fight for black business, because they can get lost in the shuffle.
Now, the city of Indianapolis has within its process fighting for minorities, whether it's women, white women, veterans, black folks. Anyone who fits in that minority category, correct?
Yeah. Correct. So the state is the same way.
So you guys are very specialized in black businesses.
That's correct.
And if there's a black business that wants to become a member, how do they do that?
Contact us on our website, the www.indybcc.org. Like us on Facebook.
Facebook.
Yeah.
And this Friday, we're going to kick off a networking event that will happen every Friday.
Oh, okay.
It will be held at our restaurant, former Big Fellas at 34th and College.
Very well, yeah. They're going back to the idea of the 11 o'clock lunch.
Yes.
It'll be, I think, It's hosted by some people of the concerned clergy are going to be involved.
Yes, they are.
I think Bob Oaksley is going to be the first speaker there,
Yes, he is.
which will be good for the community to hear him speak, and to just inform people about what's going on as it relates to that. It's going to be interesting. I plan to be there.
Good.
To see what's going on, just to be in the corner somewhere, just to see what's happening. But we get into these situations because we don't address the issues up front, and that's where we are today.
And I hope that you'll be able to carry the organization beyond, in some of the show prep that we were doing, you hope to be able to be around beyond the present administration.
Certainly.
And every administration thereafter.
Afterwards, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we do. And usually that comes through financing. So we're trying to get the money together now so that it continues. And nobody thought about this earlier, or they were unable to do it. So yeah, we are working on
You
it.
have my prayers.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And best wishes to the organization.
Thank you. Thank you for your time today.
You're welcome.
And thank you all for joining us on Real People, Real Voices on today. Don't go away. We'll be back in just a little bit with the rundown. Welcome back to Real People, Real Voices. I'm your host, James Jackson.
And I'm your co-host, Pastor Wayne Moore.
And I'm Faith McKinney.
Our executive producer. What an incredible show.
Absolutely. The Indy Black Chamber of Commerce is so valuable to our community. I had no idea. I mean, I went to the kickoff back in October of 2015, and it was amazing. So well organized, so well thought out. And just listening to Anita Williams talk, I got a sense of confidence that, oh, okay, I can join, and I know that my dollars will be used to, help my business. And I believe it'll be beneficial to a lot of people.
Yeah. Dr. Moore, they specialize in helping black businesses to compete for the vendor contracts.
Right.
And one might think, well, why do they need that?
Well, to hear her talk, you could hear the fight in her voice. She's very disturbed by it. You'll be surprised as people watch Real People, Real Voices, especially this particular show. They're going to be astounded by the information based on the fact that they're now understanding why some businesses are not successful, especially the small businesses are not successful because we do not have the chamber power that the other chambers have throughout the state. And so the Indy Chamber has power to tear down and to rise and to build up. And we're hoping that this particular chamber can gain some momentum and keep going to help Afro-American businesses and other businesses as well.
You know what I think was really a testament to Real People, Real Voices is that we've had Betsy McCall as a guest
Right.
on Real People, Real Voices. And, she's over, or at least was over the 16 Tech Project, which Anita Williams mentioned. And, we have a connection. So, maybe we can make it happen too on Real People, Real Voices.
Because she couldn't find vendors. She said publicly to 1 million people that she could not find vendors. She needs to talk to Miss
We'll have to make that
Yeah,
connection.
yeah.
Miss Anita can help her find
That's what it's all
vendors.
about.
Right, that's
Connecting
exactly what
people
it's
to
all about,
resources
right.
And it improves the quality of life for those of you who are listening, the whole community.
Right.
So thank you for watching on today. We're certainly excited about you joining us each week. Please like us on Facebook. Check out our YouTube channel. You can watch this show and others. Until next time, God bless you. We'll see you next time.
God bless you.